Humanity believed it was alone in the universe. For thousands of years, people looked at the stars and wondered who else was out there. They never imagined someone was already watching. Far beyond the edge of the solar system, something ancient woke up. It was not a ship. It was not a planet. It was a signal. Deep under the mountains of Iceland, a research station detected it first. Dr. Elias Varon was the one who saw the strange pattern on his screen. At first he thought it was noise from a broken satellite. But the signal repeated, slow, steady, and older than any known transmission. It did not come from a nearby star. It came from deep space, older than Earth itself. The signal carried layers of coded data. When the team began decoding it, they felt a growing fear. The signal contained human DNA patterns, exact matches. The room fell silent. How could something from deep space carry the code of humanity? The military was informed within hours. Governments around the world received the same report. Before they could understand the signal, something else appeared. Giant shapes formed near the orbit of Jupiter. Dark, massive ships with smooth, curved surfaces. They were not aggressive. They did not fire. They simply waited. Their size was beyond anything humans had built. Each ship was like a silent mountain floating in space. Earth defense systems powered up. Satellites locked targets. Nuclear systems prepared. But the alien fleet did nothing. Then every screen on Earth changed. Phones, televisions, computers, military monitors. All of them showed the same image. A tall figure with pale, silver skin and deep black eyes. The being did not move its mouth. Yet everyone heard the voice inside their mind. We have returned. The message was calm, cold, certain. Human leaders demanded answers. The being continued. You were created for war. You were designed to conquer. You were built to survive. We have come to reclaim our weapons. Panic spread across the planet. Some people refused to believe it. Others felt a strange fear inside their chest. Dr. Elias stared at the alien face. He remembered the DNA code from the signal. He felt something was wrong. Humans had always been different, stronger than they should be, faster to adapt, quicker to fight. History was full of endless wars. What if it was not natural? Secret archives were opened. Ancient cave drawings were re-examined. In deserts and frozen lands, strange images were found. Tall beings standing beside early humans. Symbols in stone that matched the alien ships. Governments tried to hide the truth, but it was too late. The alien fleet moved closer. Their ships glowed with soft blue light. No attack, no warning, only waiting. Another message arrived. A war is coming. The galaxy will burn again. You were built for this moment. Return to your masters. Earth leaders argued. Some believed obeying was the only way to survive. Others refused to accept that humanity belonged to anyone. Dr. Elias looked at the alien fleet through satellite images. He felt anger rising inside him. If humans were created for war, why did they feel fear? Why did they love? Why did they dream? Something did not fit. The alien voice spoke once more. Your resistance is unnecessary. You are our greatest creation. Humanity stood at the edge of truth. The sky above Earth was quiet, but beyond it, ancient masters waited. They believed humans were still their weapons. They believed control would be simple. They did not understand one thing. Humans had changed, and the signal that woke the masters may have awakened something else, something even they did not expect. The world did not sleep that night. Cities were awake. Military bases were locked down. News channels spoke in low, serious voices. But fear moved faster than information. The alien ships remained near Jupiter, silent and still, as if they were studying Earth. Deep underground world leaders gathered in secret. Scientists, soldiers, and intelligence officers filled the room. Dr. Elias stood before a large screen. His hands were shaking, but his voice stayed calm. He showed them the decoded signal. It was not just a message. It was a blueprint. Inside the ancient transmission were genetic adjustment records. Records that matched human evolution. Small changes in muscle density. Enhanced bone strength. High pain tolerance. Rapid healing. Aggression triggers. Survival instinct amplification. The room became cold. Humans had not evolved naturally. They had been modified. Thousands of years ago, an old archive was opened. A hidden program known only to a few. It contained strange discoveries from past decades. Ancient skeletons that showed signs of sudden genetic leaps. Fossils that did not fit the timeline. Cave paintings that showed tall silver beings touching early humans. The evidence had always been there, but it was ignored or hidden. Dr. Elias spoke again. The signal activated something inside human DNA. It is not just communication. It is a recall command. The word recall echoed in the chamber, like humans were machines, like soldiers being called back to base. At that moment, every military radar detected movement. The alien fleet shifted formation, not attacking, not retreating, preparing. A new transmission arrived. The same silver figure appeared, its dark eyes calm and emotionless. Your design is incomplete. You were left to mature. You have exceeded expectations. Now your purpose begins. The leaders demanded proof. The being responded without anger. It sent data directly into Earth systems. Star maps, battle histories, footage of massive galactic wars, worlds burning, fleets clashing, creatures of terrible power. The galaxy was not peaceful. It was already at war, and humanity had been prepared for it. Panic spread among the public. Religious groups called it judgment. Others called it invasion. Riots started in some cities. People looked at the sky with fear. Dr. Elias could not stop thinking. If humans were built for war, why do they have free will? Why do they feel compassion? Why do they question authority? Something about the alien tone felt wrong. Too confident, too certain, as if they believed humans would obey without question. Another message arrived. You will assemble your fleets. You will follow our command. You will reclaim the territory that was lost. This is your design. This is your destiny. The room exploded in argument. Some generals believed fighting beside the aliens would protect Earth. Others refused to surrender control. One old commander stood up, his face serious. He spoke slowly. If they made us for war, they made a mistake. Because soldiers choose who they fight for. Silence followed his words. Outside the chamber, new alarms sounded. The alien ships began to move closer to Mars' orbit. Not aggressive, but closer, like a reminder of power. Dr. Elias looked at the live feed. Something strange appeared. Human satellites began to malfunction. Not destroyed, activated. Hidden codes inside old defense systems started running. Codes no one had written. Codes no one recognized. The ancient signal was not just calling humans. It was waking systems buried deep in human technology. Systems planted long ago. Humanity was not only engineered biologically. Their progress may have been guided, prepared, shaped for this moment. The alien voice spoke once more. Compliance ensures survival. Resistance ensures correction. Earth now faced a choice. Serve the creators, or fight the ones who built them. And deep inside every human heart, something ancient stirred. Not obedience, not fear, but defiance. The alien fleet moved past Mars, slow and silent. Their ships were now visible from Earth through powerful telescopes. Huge dark shapes blocking the stars. The world watched in fear. No attack had happened yet, but the pressure was growing. Inside the United Earth Command Center, tension filled the air. Screens showed red warning signals. Strange energy waves were spreading from the alien ships. Not weapons. Something else. Dr. Elias stood beside the main display, his eyes fixed on the data. The energy waves were syncing with human satellites. Every defense system on Earth was being scanned, mapped, understood. The alien masters were studying their creation. A global message was sent again, this time stronger. The silver being appeared larger on every screen, its voice deeper inside every human mind. Your evolution cycle is complete. You are ready. Your aggression levels are optimal. Your adaptability exceeds prediction. You will now join the primary conflict. A massive star map appeared behind the alien figure. Large areas of space were marked in red. These are enemy territories. The war has resumed. You were engineered to tip the balance. The leaders of Earth demanded to know who the enemy was. The alien paused for a moment. A species that resists order. A species that spreads chaos. A species that refuses submission. Dr. Elias felt a strange chill. Those words sounded familiar. It sounded like the aliens were describing humans. Suddenly, alarms rang across the command center. Unknown access detected in global weapon systems. Missile silos began powering up. Orbital cannons turned toward deep space. No human had given the command. The ancient recall signal was activating hidden protocols. Protocols planted long before modern civilization. The masters were not just calling humans. They were taking control. Panic spread among military officials. Technicians tried to shut down systems. But every override was blocked. The alien voice spoke again. You were never meant to choose. Choice was a temporary illusion. You were left to grow stronger. Now you will serve. On Earth, protests filled the streets. People refused to believe they were property. Religious leaders spoke of freedom. Soldiers looked at their uniforms with new meaning. Were they protecting Earth or fulfilling alien design? Dr. Elias searched deeper into the decoded signal. There was a hidden layer, a secondary sequence, something the aliens did not mention. He isolated the pattern. It was incomplete, like a lock missing a key. He realized something important. The masters had designed humans, but they had not controlled every variable. Human emotion had evolved beyond the original structure. Love, loyalty, independence. These were not part of a weapon blueprint. A young officer approached Elias. Sir, the alien ships are charging energy, but not toward Earth, toward deep space. They are preparing for jump. The realization hit the room. The masters planned to take humanity with them, to transport fleets, to force Earth into a war far beyond their system. Another message appeared. Assembly begins in 12 hours. All military forces will align with our fleet. Non-compliance will be corrected. The word corrected echoed in silence. The alien ships released smaller crafts. They moved toward Earth orbit, not attacking, but positioning, like shepherds guiding livestock. Earth defense systems locked targets. Fingers hovered over launch commands. One general stood before the council, his voice calm but firm. If we were built for war, then we understand war. And war is never won by surrender. Dr. Elias activated the hidden secondary code. He did not know what it would do, but he believed it was the missing key. As the sequence uploaded into global systems, something changed. The alien recall signal flickered. For the first time, the silver beings showed reaction. Their calm faces tightened. They had expected obedience. They had planned control. They had calculated strength. But they had underestimated one thing. Humans were no longer just weapons. They were something unpredictable. And unpredictability was the most dangerous force in any war. The alien recall signal began to weaken. Not completely, but enough to cause distortion. Screens across Earth flickered. Missile systems paused. Orbital cannons stopped rotating. Inside the alien fleet, several ships shifted position. Their perfect formation broke for the first time. In the command center, Dr. Elias stared at the data. The secondary code was working, but it was not a weapon. It was something older, something hidden deep inside human DNA. The code was not created by the masters. It was created by humanity. Long ago, perhaps by the first generation who realized they were being shaped. A safeguard, a silent rebellion planted in their own blood. The alien leader appeared again, but this time the image was unstable. You are interfering with primary control. Cease resistance. Correction will escalate. Earth leaders did not respond. For the first time, humanity did not wait for orders. Military commanders across nations connected their systems, not through alien channels, but through human ones. A unified defense network activated. Satellites that had been dormant for years powered up. Experimental ships launched from hidden bases. Space stations locked into combat mode. The alien fleet reacted instantly. Smaller crafts accelerated toward Earth orbit. Their engines glowed bright white. Energy beams sliced through empty space as warning shots. They did not hit Earth, but they showed power. Cities below watched streaks of light above the atmosphere. Fear turned into anger. People realized something simple. The Masters were not gods. They were commanders, and commanders could be challenged. Dr. Elias continued analyzing the secondary code. It was spreading like a virus, rewriting hidden alien protocols inside human systems. Old satellites that once responded to the recall signal now rejected it. Missile silos shut down alien access. The Masters were losing their grip. On the main screen, a new transmission arrived. Not from the alien fleet, but from deep space. Another unknown signal. Weaker, fragmented. The alien ships immediately shifted attention. Their formation turned outward, toward the edge of the solar system. Dr. Elias magnified the data. The new signal carried battle signatures, heavy weapon traces, multiple fleets approaching. The ancient war was already moving closer. The Masters had not come early. They had come late. Their enemy was near. The alien leader spoke again. This time urgency was clear. Assembly time reduced. You will comply now. Earth fleets must join. A general stepped forward. His voice steady. We are not your property. The alien response was immediate. Several small crafts fired targeted strikes at human satellites. Explosions lit up orbit. Debris scattered across space. The first real attack had begun. Earth defense ships responded. Rail cannons fired. Missiles streaked toward alien fighters. Space filled with light and metal. The battle was small, but it changed everything. Humans were fighting their creators, and they were not losing. Alien fighters moved with precision, but human pilots adapted quickly. They used unpredictable maneuvers, sudden turns, unexpected retreats, trap formations. The Masters had designed aggression, but they had not predicted creativity. In the command center, Elias saw something shocking. The alien fleet began withdrawing part of its forces, not retreating, repositioning for larger conflict. The external enemy fleets were entering sensor range. Massive, unknown warships, far more aggressive, far less controlled. The Masters were preparing for full-scale galactic battle, and they still expected humanity to join. Earth now faced a terrifying truth. If they refused the Masters, they would fight two wars, one against their creators, and one against whatever enemy was coming. Silence filled the room. Humanity had never faced a choice like this. Serve in a war not their own, or fight for freedom against powers older than history. Outside, the atmosphere, burning debris fell like shooting stars. People watched from cities and deserts, not with helpless fear, but with rising resolve. For the first time in history, humanity was united, not by alien design, but by shared defiance. And far beyond the moon, ancient Masters realized their greatest creation had become their greatest uncertainty. Space around Earth became a battlefield of light and shadow. Alien fighters clashed with human ships. Explosions flashed against the dark sky. But something was changing. The Masters were no longer calm. Their fleet had split into two formations, one facing Earth, the other turning toward the approaching enemy. The new fleet entering the system was massive. Its ships were rough and heavily armored. Unlike the smooth design of the Masters, these ships did not move with quiet control. They moved with hunger. Dr. Elias studied the incoming data. The enemy fleet was not sending peaceful signals. Their transmissions were chaotic, filled with battle codes. They were already firing at the Masters. Long-range weapons struck the outer alien ships. Bright waves of energy shattered shields. For the first time, the Masters were under pressure. The Silver Leader appeared again, its voice less steady. Your delay has reduced strategic advantage. Join now or face elimination. But Earth did not answer. Instead, human fleets repositioned. Not toward the Masters, not toward the enemy, but between both. Human ships formed a defensive wall around Earth. A clear message without words. We fight for ourselves. The Masters fired again, targeting human cruisers. But this time, Earth responded faster. Rail cannons hit alien fighters. Missiles pierced through shields. Human pilots used fast, unpredictable movement. They attacked, then vanished behind debris. They adapted to every strike. The Masters began to understand. Their design had evolved. Humans were not reacting like control weapons. They were thinking, choosing, creating new strategies in real time. The second enemy fleet moved closer. Their weapons were brutal. They destroyed several master ships in seconds. Massive explosions shook space. Dr. Elias felt the weight of reality. If both alien forces fought near Earth, the planet would not survive. He searched deeper into the hidden secondary code. There was one more layer, a signal enhancer, not for control, but for broadcast. It could amplify a message across both fleets. He looked at the world leaders. We cannot win by fighting both. We must change the board. The general nodded. Send a message. Earth transmitted a wide signal, clear and strong, to both alien forces. Humanity will not serve. Humanity will not be reclaimed. We will defend our world, but we will not join your ancient war. For a brief moment, all firing slowed. The second enemy fleet responded first. Their signal was rough, fragmented. We do not seek you. We seek them. They enslave worlds. They build armies from others. A silence spread across human command. The Masters had not told the full truth. They had created species for war before. Humanity was not the first. Anger filled every human channel. The Masters spoke again. Do not believe their distortion. We bring order. They bring chaos. But now doubt had entered the battlefield. The second fleet continued attacking only master ships, ignoring Earth defenses. Human sensors confirmed it. Earth was not their target. The Masters realized control was slipping. They shifted formation, preparing to withdraw, but not before sending one final command. Last recall initiated. Deep inside human DNA, the ancient trigger activated again. Pain spread across soldiers. Visions flashed in their minds. Battle instincts rising. Anger sharpening. It was the original war design. But this time, humans felt it and rejected it. Dr. Elias triggered the final layer of the secondary code. The recall signal shattered, like glass breaking in silence. Across the planet, humans felt clarity return. The master ships flickered, their connection to humanity severed. For the first time in thousands of years, the Masters had lost their greatest weapon, and now they faced their old enemy alone. While humanity watched, no longer tools, no longer creations, but a free force in a war older than the stars. The Masters' fleet began to retreat, their formation no longer perfect, their calm no longer unbreakable. The second enemy fleet pressed forward, heavy cannons firing without pause. Space shook with waves of destruction. Earth fleets remained in defensive position, watching, waiting. Humanity had broken the recall, but the war was not over. Dr. Elias monitored the collapsing alien signals. The Masters were broadcasting emergency commands, calling distant reinforcements, but their control over humanity was gone. That advantage would never return. The second fleet pushed deeper into the system, destroying master ships one by one. Massive explosions lit the darkness. Pieces of alien vessels drifted past Mars. The Silver Leader appeared one last time, its image damaged, its voice strained. You are our finest creation. Without us, you will fall. The transmission cut as another blast struck their command ship. Earth Command watched carefully. The second fleet did not attack Earth. They ignored human ships completely. Their focus remained on the Masters, as if finishing an ancient score. After hours of brutal combat, the Masters' flagship attempted escape, engines charging for faster than light jump. But the second fleet anticipated it. A concentrated strike pierced the flagship core. Light expanded across space. Then silence. The Masters' command vessel was gone. Remaining master ships scattered, some fleeing, some destroyed. The war that began thousands of years ago had shifted, and humanity had refused to be part of it. The Second Fleet slowed its advance. Their largest ship transmitted toward Earth. "We have no claim on you. You're no longer bound. Remember this. Those who create weapons often forget weapons can choose." The signal ended. Their fleet turned, not toward Earth, but back into deep space, chasing the remnants of the masters. Earth orbit became quiet. Debris floated like broken stars. Burning fragments entered the atmosphere. People across the world watched the sky, no longer in fear, but in understanding. Humanity had been designed for war. Strength, endurance, adaptation, but something else had grown inside them. Freedom. Dr. Elias stepped outside the command center. The night sky looked different now. Not mysterious, not distant, but open. Humans were not alone. They never had been, but they were no longer controlled. Global leaders gathered one final time. Earth had survived, not by obedience, not by surrender, but by choice. The general who once spoke of soldiers stood again, his voice steady. "We were made for battle, but we decide who we fight." That message was broadcast into space, a declaration to any watching civilization. Humanity is not property. Humanity is not a weapon. Humanity is sovereign. Days later, deep space sensors detected something unexpected. Multiple unknown signals. Distant civilizations observing. The story of Earth had traveled. A species that defied its creators. A weapon that broke its chains. Some signals were cautious. Some curious. Some afraid. The galaxy had learned something new. Humans were unpredictable. And unpredictability was power. Dr. Elias reviewed the original recall code one last time. He stored it in a secured archive, not as a symbol of control, but as a reminder of what humanity overcame. The ancient masters believed they could return and reclaim their creation. They believed design meant ownership. They believed war was destiny. They were wrong, because humanity was not just built. It had grown, evolved beyond intention, and in doing so, it became something far more dangerous than any weapon. It became free.